The vast deserts of Arabia may seem like an endless sea of sand, but beneath this shimmering surface lies a story. It is a story not of sand, but of gold. For thousands of years, a glittering thread of gold has woven its way through the history of this land, now known as the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This precious metal has been more than just money here. It has been a symbol of power, a foundation for trade, a sacred trust, and a work of art. The story of Saudi Arabia is, in many ways, written in the soft, warm glow of its gold coins, each one a tiny capsule of history, whispering tales of ancient kings, vast empires, and the birth of a nation. Imagine a world without paper money or digital transactions. In such a world, gold was the ultimate measure of wealth. It was solid, reliable, and beautiful. In the Arabian Peninsula, a crossroads of ancient civilizations, gold coins arrived with traders and conquerors. They passed from hand to hand in bustling markets, or souks. They were buried for safekeeping and sometimes forgotten, only to be rediscovered centuries later. This journey of gold tells us about the people who lived here, their beliefs, their connections to the wider world, and the incredible transformations their society has undergone. It is a remarkable journey of survival and splendor. The allure of gold is universal. It does not rust or tarnish. Its shine seems to hold a piece of the sun itself. For the people of Arabia, this enduring quality made it the perfect store of value. A man's wealth, a bride's dowry, a king's treasury, all were often measured in the weight of gold. As we trace the history of these coins, we are not just looking at currency, we are looking at the very heart of a culture. We will see how designs changed with dynasties, how inscriptions declared faith and power, and how a simple piece of metal could connect a local merchant to a global network of commerce and ideas long before the modern world was born. Our exploration begins long ago in the mists of time and leads us to the vibrant modern kingdom of today. We will follow this golden thread from the earliest Roman and Byzantine coins that found their way into the desert, through the magnificent Islamic empires that created their own iconic currency, to the moment the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia minted its very own gold coins. It is a story of how a nation shaped its identity, piece by gleaming piece. This is the glittering journey of Saudi gold coins, a story as rich and deep as the metal itself. Join me as we uncover this extraordinary legacy. Long before the rise of Islam, the Arabian Peninsula was not an isolated land. It was a bustling corridor of trade. Great caravans of camels, the famous ships of the desert, moved slowly but surely across its sands. They carried precious frankincense and myrrh from the south to the great empires of the north, Rome and Byzantium, and in return, something just as precious flowed back into Arabia. That something was gold in the form of coins. The earliest gold coins found in the region were not made there. They were foreign visitors, tiny ambassadors from powerful, faraway lands. These were the Roman aureus and the Byzantine solidus. Finding a Roman gold coin in the Saudi desert is like finding a seashell far inland. It tells you that a great sea once covered the land. In the same way, these coins tell us of a great sea of trade that connected Arabia to the Mediterranean world. The coins were highly valued not just for the gold they contained, but for their consistent weight and purity. A merchant in a place like Makkah or the ancient port of Al-Ula could trust a Roman coin. It was a reliable international currency. These coins often featured the powerful faces of emperors, symbols of a distant authority whose influence was felt even here, in the heart of the desert. These early coins played a crucial role. They helped transform the local economy from a simple system of barter, or trading goods for goods, to a more sophisticated monetary system. Instead of trading a sheep for a bag of dates, you could sell the sheep for gold coins and then use those coins to buy whatever you needed. This made trade much more flexible and efficient. It allowed wealth to be stored and accumulated in a new way. A family's fortune could be held in a small, easily hidden pot of gold coins, a secure treasure in an often uncertain world. The coins were more than money. They were a new technology of trade. The significance of these coins went beyond economics. They brought new ideas and artistic styles into the peninsula. The images on the coins, the portraits of emperors, the depictions of gods and goddesses, the Latin or Greek inscriptions, were a window into other cultures. Local craftsmen may have been inspired by these designs. The very idea of striking a ruler's image onto a piece of metal to declare authority was a powerful concept. These early foreign gold coins did not just bring wealth, they planted the seeds of an idea. The idea that a small, round piece of gold could carry a message of power, faith, and identity across vast distances. With the rise of Islam in the 7th century, the world changed, and so did the world of coins. The new Islamic Caliphate, starting with the Umayyad dynasty, understood the power of currency. At first, they continued to use the Byzantine gold coins that were already in circulation, sometimes stamping their own Arabic phrases over the existing designs. But this was not enough. A great new empire needed its own great currency. Around the year 696, the Caliph Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan made a revolutionary decision. He ordered the creation of a purely Islamic gold coin, the dinar. This was a bold declaration of independence. The new Islamic dinar was a radical departure from what came before. Gone were the portraits of emperors and religious icons. In their place was something even more powerful: the written word. The coins were beautifully inscribed in elegant Arabic script, with verses from the Quran and declarations of faith. "There is no God but God," the coins proclaimed, a message that traveled with every transaction. They also stated the name of the mint and the year the coin was made. This was not just money. It was a medium for spreading the message of Islam and asserting the authority of the caliph. The design was simple, pure, and profound. When the Abbasid dynasty took power in the mid-8th century and moved the capital to the magnificent city of Baghdad, the golden dinar entered its own golden age. The Abbasid Caliphate presided over a vast and prosperous empire that stretched from Spain to India. Their dinars became the dominant international currency of their time, a bit like the United States dollar is today. They were minted with incredible precision and purity, and their reputation was unmatched. An Abbasid dinar was trusted everywhere, from the Viking lands of Scandinavia to the ports of China, a testament to the economic power and stability of the Islamic world. These coins tell a story of incredible wealth and intellectual achievement. The Abbasid era was a time of great advances in science, mathematics, and art, and the purity of their gold coins reflected this confidence and sophistication. The standardized Kufic script on the coins became an art form in itself, recognized and admired across cultures. For people living in the Arabian Peninsula, these dinars were a constant reminder that they were part of a grand, unified civilization, bound together by a common faith and a common currency. The Umayyad and Abbasid dinars were not just coins, they were the symbols of a golden age. As the centuries passed, the great Abbasid Caliphate slowly weakened. New powers rose, and by the 16th century, another mighty empire held sway over much of the Middle East, including the holy cities of Makkah and Medina in the Arabian Peninsula. This was the Ottoman Empire, with its capital in Istanbul. And with the Ottomans came their own distinctive gold coins. The age of the simple script-only dinar was over. The Ottomans brought back imagery, but in a new and unique style. Their coins were a blend of Islamic tradition and imperial grandeur, a perfect reflection of the empire itself. The most famous Ottoman gold coin was the Altyn, later followed by others like the Kurush. Unlike the early Islamic dinars, these coins featured a stunning and complex design. On one side you would often find the Tughra. This was the official calligraphic signature of the reigning sultan, an intricate and beautiful monogram that was a powerful symbol of his personal authority. It was like the sultan's own royal seal, stamped in pure gold. The other side of the coin typically included the name of the mint and the year the sultan came to the throne, anchoring each piece of gold to a specific time and place within the vast empire. For the people of Arabia, Ottoman gold became the standard currency for major transactions. Pilgrims traveling to Makkah for the annual Hajj would bring these coins with them from all corners of the Ottoman world, from the Balkans to Egypt. This made the markets of the Hejaz region incredibly cosmopolitan. You could hear dozens of languages, but the language of Ottoman gold was understood by all. These coins facilitated the vast logistical enterprise of the pilgrimage, paying for lodging, food, and transport. They were the economic lifeblood that sustained the holy cities and connected them to the imperial center in Istanbul. However, the presence of Ottoman coins also represented foreign rule. The Tughra of a distant sultan in Istanbul was a constant reminder that the land was part of a larger, Turkish-led empire. As the power of the Ottomans began to fade in the 19th and early 20th centuries, and as a new sense of Arab identity began to stir in the peninsula, the desire for local autonomy grew. The stage was being set for a monumental change. The story of gold in Arabia was about to take a new turn, away from the coins of foreign emperors and sultans, and toward the creation of a currency for a new, independent kingdom. The early 20th century was a time of tremendous change in the Arabian Peninsula. A visionary leader, Abdulaziz ibn Saud, was working to unite the disparate tribes and regions into a single new nation. As he consolidated his power and the foundations of modern Saudi Arabia were laid, he understood the critical importance of having a national currency. A kingdom needs its own coins. It is a fundamental declaration of sovereignty. In 1925, after taking control of the Hejaz region, which included the holy cities and the main mint, King Abdulaziz ordered the creation of the first ever Saudi gold coin. This new coin was called the Saudi Gold Guinea. Its creation was a moment of immense national pride. It was modeled on the famous British gold sovereign, which was a widely trusted trade coin in the region at the time. This was a clever move. By making the Saudi guinea the same size and weight as the British sovereign, it made it instantly acceptable and trustworthy to merchants who were familiar with the British standard. But this was no mere copy. The coin was distinctly Saudi and Islamic. It proudly bore Arabic inscriptions, marking it as the currency of the new kingdom. The design of the Saudi gold guinea was simple, elegant, and powerful. It did not feature the face of the ruler, following the long-standing Islamic tradition. Instead, it was inscribed with the name of the country, the Kingdom of the Hejaz and the Sultanate of Nejd, which was the nation's name at the time. It also carried the value of the coin, 1 guinea, and the year it was minted according to the Islamic calendar. This first coin was a bridge between the old and the new. It respected Islamic numismatic tradition, while adopting a practical, internationally recognized standard. It was the perfect coin for a kingdom finding its place in the modern world. The minting of the Saudi guinea was more than just an economic act. It was a political statement. It signaled to the world that a new, independent power had arrived in the Middle East. No longer would the people of this land use coins bearing the mark of an Ottoman sultan or a British monarch. They now had their own gold, stamped with their own identity. King Abdulaziz continued to issue gold coins, and in 1952, a new Saudi guinea was minted with the updated name, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This coin featured the now iconic national emblem, a palm tree above 2 crossed swords, a symbol of prosperity protected by strength. This coin was a true symbol of the unified nation. It is hard for us to imagine Saudi Arabia before the discovery of oil. Today, we think of a nation of gleaming skyscrapers and modern highways, all built on the wealth that flows from its vast oil reserves. But before the 1930s, the kingdom's economy was vastly different. It was a world without oil revenues. In this pre-oil era, the economy was based on more traditional sources of income: pilgrimage, trade, and date farming. And at the very center of this economy was gold. Gold was not just one form of money. It was the ultimate store of wealth, the bedrock of the financial system. In a land with few formal banks, gold coins were the primary way to save. A family's life savings might be a handful of gold guineas or Ottoman altins, carefully wrapped in cloth and hidden in a safe place. This was a person's security against drought, illness, or bad fortune. For merchants, gold was essential. When trading goods over long distances, carrying bags of silver coins was heavy and impractical. Gold coins were compact and held a great deal of value in a small package. They were the preferred medium for large transactions, buying camels, financing caravans, or purchasing imported goods in the coastal ports. The annual Hajj pilgrimage was the single most important economic event of the year, and gold was central to it. Pilgrims from across the Islamic world did not bring their local currencies. They brought gold. This annual influx of gold coins from places like India, Egypt, and Indonesia fueled the economy of the Hejaz. Local merchants, landlords, and guides all conducted their business in gold. The kingdom itself derived a significant portion of its state revenue from the taxes and fees associated with the pilgrimage, often collected in gold. The flow of pilgrims and the flow of gold were inextricably linked. a rhythm that had defined life in the holy cities for centuries. This reliance on gold also shaped the culture. Gold was a vital part of major life events. A bride's dowry, or mahr, was traditionally paid in gold coins, representing a secure and valuable asset for her future. The gift of gold was a sign of respect, celebration, and commitment. The shimmer of gold jewelry and the clink of gold coins were the sounds of weddings and festivals. This deep cultural connection meant that even when paper money was introduced, people continued to trust gold. It was seen as real money, a tangible asset in a changing world, a piece of the desert's timeless treasury that you could hold in your hand. Every old gold coin has a story to tell, if you know how to listen. They are silent witnesses to history, having passed through countless hands and traveled across incredible distances. One fascinating story is that of the Maria Theresa thaler. This was not a gold coin, but a large silver coin from Austria. First minted in 1741, it featured the portrait of Empress Maria Theresa. For some reason it became incredibly popular in the Middle East and Arabia. It was so trusted for its consistent silver content that people refused to accept any other design. So, the Austrian mint continued to strike the coin with the date 1780 for over 200 years, just to supply the demand in regions like Arabia. It was often used alongside gold for various transactions. Another interesting tale involves the concept of chopping coins. In the bustling souks of old Arabia, a merchant might need to give change for a gold coin, but smaller denomination coins might not be available. What did they do? They would simply take a chisel and hammer and cut the gold coin into halves or quarters. These smaller pieces, called chops, would then be weighed to determine their value. This shows how practical people were. The value was in the gold itself, not in the coin's perfect round shape. Finding a chopped gold coin today is a direct link to the day-to-day reality of commerce in a pre-modern market. There are also stories of hidden treasures. In a world without banks, burying one's wealth was a common practice. People would place their gold and silver coins in a clay pot and bury it under the floor of their house, or in a secret spot out in the desert. Sometimes the owner would pass away without revealing the location of their hoard. Centuries later, a farmer tilling a field or a construction crew digging a foundation might stumble on one of these lost treasures. Each discovery is a magical moment, a window into the past. These hoards tell us what kind of coins were being used at a certain time and provide a snapshot of one family's lost fortune. One of the most powerful stories is about the trust people placed in specific coins. For a long time, the British gold sovereign, with its famous image of St. George slaying a dragon, was a favorite trade coin in the Gulf. It was known as the George Guinea. Its reliability was so legendary that when King Abdulaziz decided to mint his own first gold coin, he intentionally made it the same weight and purity. He knew that to gain the trust of his people and international traders, his new Saudi Guinea had to be just as good as the George. It was a brilliant move that honored the past while forging a new future. The discovery of oil in the 1930s changed Saudi Arabia forever. The trickle of revenue from pilgrimage turned into a flood of wealth from black gold. As the kingdom modernized rapidly, its financial system had to evolve as well. In 1952, the Saudi Arabian Monetary Agency, or SAMA, the kingdom's central bank, was established. This marked the beginning of a formal modern monetary system. The Saudi riyal was introduced as the official paper currency. For a time, the riyal was backed by gold, meaning you could, in theory, exchange your paper notes for a specific amount of gold. This gold standard provided confidence in the new currency. However, like most countries in the world, Saudi Arabia eventually moved away from the gold standard in the 1970s. The currency was no longer directly convertible to gold. The era of gold coins as everyday money came to an end. The Saudi gold guinea was no longer minted for circulation. The primary role of gold shifted. It moved from being money in people's pockets to being an asset held in the vaults of the central bank. SAMA maintained substantial gold reserves as part of the nation's wealth, a foundation of stability for the entire economy. The gold is still there, protecting the kingdom's finances, but it now works silently, behind the scenes. Despite this official shift, gold has never lost its special place in Saudi culture. The tradition of giving gold as a gift, especially for weddings, remains as strong as ever. The gold souks in cities like Riyadh and Jeddah are dazzling places, filled with intricate jewelry and modern gold coins. People continue to buy gold as a personal investment and a store of value, a hedge against inflation and economic uncertainty. Many Saudis feel a deep historical trust in gold that they do not feel for paper money or digital assets. It remains a tangible, beautiful, and secure form of wealth. Today, gold in Saudi Arabia exists in two parallel worlds. It is a modern financial asset, traded as bullion on international markets and held as reserves by the central bank. At the same time, it is a deeply traditional commodity, cherished for its cultural and personal significance. Sama and other private mints occasionally issue commemorative gold coins to celebrate important national events, such as the kingdom's centennial. These modern coins are not for spending in shops, but are collector's items and treasured keepsakes, continuing the long and beautiful story of gold coins in the kingdom. They are a bridge connecting the financial world of the bourse with the cultural world of the souk. The journey of gold coins in Saudi Arabia is a truly remarkable saga. It is a story that stretches from the Roman emperors to the Saudi kings, from the camel caravans of the ancient incense routes to the global financial markets of the 21st century. These small, glittering discs are so much more than money. They are artifacts of history, carrying the messages of empires, the declarations of faith, and the symbols of national pride. Each coin is a chapter in the grand narrative of Arabia, reflecting the region's role as a crossroads of civilization, a center of faith, and now, a modern economic powerhouse. The story is amazing for its sheer scope and endurance. This history is profoundly important, not just for Saudi Arabia but for the world. It shows us how interconnected our civilizations have always been. A Roman coin in the Arabian desert, an Islamic dinar in a Viking horde. These discoveries remind us that global trade and cultural exchange are not new phenomena. The story of Saudi gold also illustrates the universal and timeless appeal of this precious metal. In a world of constant change, gold has remained a symbol of stability, trust, and enduring value across cultures and millennia. It is a common language of wealth that everyone has understood. From the first Saudi guinea minted by King Abdulaziz to the commemorative coins of today, this history is a testament to the birth and growth of a nation. The transition from using foreign coins to minting a national currency was a pivotal step in forging a modern identity. It was a declaration that the new kingdom was sovereign and ready to take its place on the world stage. The enduring cultural significance of gold, from wedding dowries to modern investments, shows how deeply this legacy is woven into the fabric of Saudi society. The gleam of gold connects the past to the present in a tangible way. So, the next time you see a picture of a gleaming gold coin, think of its long journey. It may have been held by a Roman merchant, an Abbasid scholar, an Ottoman pilgrim, or a Bedouin trader. It may have been buried in the sand for 1,000 years. The history of Saudi gold coins is a shining example of how a single object can encapsulate the spirit of a people and the sweep of history. It is a legacy cast in the most noble of metals. Its gleam is bright and captivating today, as it was thousands of years ago. It is a golden thread that continues to shine, connecting the desert's ancient past to its brilliant future.